Okay. Expanding on having a routine and rhythm in the other video I just shot. Um, Multitasking, getting yourself prepped and ready, also requires multitasking and good memory. And I had a horrible memory. I still have a horrible memory, but I've noticed I able to remember things a bit easier. Like I would be like, oh, how am I gonna remember that lab value and write it down? Even it's like because I'm told this, and then I have to write it down, even if I jot it on my notes, or even to recall it, not to jot it down, but if I'm giving a report or if I'm in a situation, I was like, oh no, I remember. Okay, tasking was still within good range. You got to know all those values, but you don't have to know them day one. Okay, that's the difference. If you're working on the job, yeah, by that time you really should know most of them. But nibble and peck. You might not know why the BUN and the creatinine have to be whatever, but eventually you'll learn it. You might not have to know what the hemoglobin safe range is for your facility, but you'll learn it. And all these values, by the way, and the reason I make that little caveat is they are different. There's like 3 or 4 major healthcare systems in this area, and they all have a little bit slightly different. Maybe their potassium range is 3.5 as a minimum, or 3.3, or 3.4, and then up to 5, or maybe up to 5.2, 5.1, or 4.8. Whatever. It depends. It's something that you have to learn per the facility you're at, and also just in a natural range. I mean, you'll be like, okay, yeah, he's still within the range, but he or she's still in this range, but I'm getting this off the EKG or whatever. And then even though it's technically within norm, you're going to want to say, hey, wait a minute, this person's having this, maybe we should supplement it, or, give them, a little insulin to push it out, whatever. It depends what you have to get done. But don't worry about knowing all that stuff at the first day of nursing school. Don't worry about that, so much about that during the first day of work. You shouldn't. It's different if you've been the nurse for 10 years. Yeah, you walk in, they don't want to be teaching you stuff. You should know this. You move from job to job. That's the difference. But also try to know what you're stepping into. I had a friend who I heard actually just left. She didn't like she couldn't handle the hustle bustle of our unit, which was shocking because she was a tech on the unit for so long, and she was actually a nurse in her country, so she just needed to get her licensing here. But it is a different pace. It's a different pace than tech. It's a different pace than other countries. But I'm actually more shocked at that aspect because, in my opinion, other countries seem to have a harder time with it. The nurses have more to deal with. It's much more hectic. I hate to say it. It seems like we're a little coddled here, and we're babied in that sense. I see and hear some of the other countries, and I'm just like, wow, and including some people that were nurses here and went there. They're like, holy crap, it's insane here. I don't have this, I don't have that. So that's why I actually found that more puzzling of my friend's departure than the fact that she already knew the layout and she already knew the rhythm of the unit from being a tech. But it is a different viewpoint as a nurse, and I said that to 3 of my friends who just got hired from techs to nurses. Now they're just waiting to take their NCLEX, and they all got hired on the same unit, on our unit. So I was great. I was like, hey, great, thank God. Cool guys, very, but I would be shocked if they couldn't handle the rhythm and pace of it, because they were exceptional sec techs. They if anything, I'm gonna be like, oh my God, we have such a brain drain now in the techs area. It's gonna be like the nursing assistants. I'm actually scared of that, because I'm like, holy shit, we just lost like 3 stars. You know, you just lost 3 all-stars. Yes, you're going to get them as nurses, but I was a crappy nursing assistant. As a nurse, I'm like, wow, I sucked. Yeah, I tried. I did very well in that sense. A good effort, but I was like, oh crap, I should have done more. These guys do more, and I was like, wow, I'm gonna have a hard time as a nurse, and they're gonna have a harder time with the nurse because they're gonna have to deal with techs that just weren't as good as they were, ironically. But going back to what I was saying is, learn to multitask, learn to get your brain in order. But I everybody says that. I say, yes, I parrot all that, but don't sweat it so much. It will come to you over time. You will learn the values. You will learn how to handle it. That's the whole point of being a nurse, over time. It's like I say in another video, it's like, how do pilots get better? By hours. They're rated by the hours. Oh, you got 6,000 hours as a pilot. I'm okay. I don't feel weird. I don't feel uncomfortable. 600 hours as a pilot? It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Can I take the next flight? Because 6,000 hours as a pilot, the guy can fly with his eyes closed almost. It's a lot of time they logged. It's a career pilot. It's all about logging time, and you'll get there. Don't worry. That was one of the most daunting things when I started out, and I'm still starting out. That I was like, how the hell am I going to get this all in my head? And I hope that wasn't the case with my friend, that she kind of gave up on the unit early. She's not giving up on being a nurse. From what I heard, I haven't spoken to her yet. It's not this unit, and that's okay. That's it's not an easy unit. A lot of people use it as a stepping stone, and they just do 1 or 2 years here and then pick their units after that. Maybe literally just a handful, but not even 5, are veteran nurses of beyond 10 years in our unit. It just burns too many people out. I hope to be able to last that long on a unit. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. Pace yourself. Okay. Good luck.